Hi everyone, this week in Level F we're going to be going over lessons 109 through 112. You will need worksheets 90 through 93A or B, the warm-up practice sheet 13, tangrams, the 4-in-1 ruler, your math journal, the math card games book, and the fraction and basic number cards. In lesson 109, we will be dividing fractions using reciprocals. Have your child complete the first section on the warm-up practice sheet 13, and then after correcting any mistakes, move on to the first example. Let's take a look at those.
So the first part of the examples is just going over how division of fractions work. So 1 divided by 1/4 is 4. How many 1/4 are in 1? There's 4. How many 1/4 are in a half? There's 2. How many 1/4 are in 1/4? There's 1. So 1/4 divided by 1/4 equals 1. So another way to look at this problem is to ask, what is the reciprocal of 1/4? Well, the reciprocal is 4 over 1, right? Normally we don't write whole numbers like that, but we can. So 1/4 times 4 over 1 equals 1, because we can cancel out the 4's, right? So let's go ahead and get rid of this, and then we'll keep going down looking at the examples. So the next one is 4/9 divided by 3/5. And we just did the reciprocal for the 1/4. We're going to do the same thing here. What's the reciprocal of 3/5? It's 5/3. And we just multiply across. 4 times 5 is 20. 9 times 3 is 3/10 divided by 6/5 equals, go ahead and write the reciprocal of 6/5. That's 5/6. And we can cancel. 5 goes into 5 once and into 10 twice. 3 goes into 3 once and into 6 twice. Multiply across. We get the answer 1/4.
So now your child is ready to complete worksheet 90. Then you can play the game Fraction Division War, which is F44 in the Math Card Games book, and ask the in-conclusion questions. In lesson 110, we will divide mixed numbers and compare the two different algorithms that we've been using. Go ahead and ask the oral warm-up questions, which review the two division methods. And then let's take a look at the second example.
So the second example says 1 2/3 divided by 2 1/2. The very first thing that needs to be done is to change these mixed numbers into improper fractions. So 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So that's 5/3 divided by 5/2. And then we're going to have to multiply by the reciprocal. So 5 divided by 3, or 5/3, times 2/5. The 5's cancel each other out, and our answer is 2/3. Okay, at this point, your child is ready to complete the worksheet. I do want to go over the second word problem at the bottom of that worksheet. Okay, so the second word problem says that Corey has 5.5 small strawberry cakes to be split among friends. They don't say how many. And we want each friend to receive 2/3 of a cake. So we're trying to figure out how many friends can be served by these 5.5 cakes. So 5.5 has to be changed to an improper fraction. So that would be 11/2. And then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 3/2. So that gives us 33/4. And when we do the division, we actually get that to be 8 1/4.
Go ahead and ask the in-conclusion questions and play Fractions in 4 Operations, which is game F45 in the Math Card Games book. In lesson 111, we are going to be solving fraction word problems and practice all 4 arithmetic operations. Go ahead and ask the oral warm-up questions and then review what averages are. Let's take a look at problem 1 from worksheet 92.
Okay, so remember that when you're finding averages, you need to divide by the number of numbers or multiply by that fraction. So if you have three numbers, you would say 1/3 times, let's say it's 5 plus 3 plus 8. Okay. You would add these numbers together and multiply by 1/3, or add these numbers together and divide by 3. Either way works. In this particular example that we're working on, problem 1 from worksheet 92, we have actually 5 numbers. So we have 1/5 times 2 3/8 plus 1 7/8 plus 1 3/4 plus 2 1/4 plus 3. Sorry, not 3, plus 1 3/4. So 1/5 times, when we add all of these numbers together, we end up with 10. And that equals 2 inches on average. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. So just a quick overview on how I added those up. So I took all the whole numbers, 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7. 3/8 and 7/8 equals 1 1/4 plus 3/4 plus 1/4 plus 3/4. And then I just combine where I can. So 1/4 and 3/4 is 1. So now we're at 7, 8, 9. Right there. And then 1/4 and 3/4 is another 1. So that gives us 10.
Okay, go ahead and have your child finish the worksheets with you asking the follow-up questions after the problems, and then ask the in-conclusion question and play fractions in 4 operations again. Lesson 112 is a review and game day. Go ahead and ask the oral questions and then have your child complete the review. After your child has made any corrections that were necessary, play the fractions in 4 operations again. If your child missed some questions on the review and you would like to go over those lessons, here are those lessons. Okay, if your child missed oral question number 1, go ahead and review lesson 97. For number 2, review lesson 93, and for number 3, review lesson 108. If your child missed the write the answers question, for number 1, look at lesson 58. For number 2, look at lesson 85. And for number 3, look at lesson 102. In the Do the Calculations section, review lesson 26 for problem 1, lesson 27 for problem 2, lesson 33 for problem 3, and lesson 49 for problem 4. For the question that asks divide 2 2/5 by 3/10, go ahead and review lessons 106 and 109. For multiplying 2 2/3 by 3 3/4, review lesson 101. The 4 operations chart, you can review lesson 111. And the word problem, you can review lesson 110. Okay, that's all for this week, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.